Two young girls vanished from a hiking trail. What their phones captured is haunting. On a chilling February day in 2017, the small town of Delphi, Indiana, nestled quietly amid rolling fields and thick woods, became the focal point of a harrowing mystery that would grip the nation's heart. With a population of barely 3,000, Delphi is the kind of place where everyone knows everyone, a slice of Americana where life moved at a slower, safer pace. But as the winter sun rose on the morning of February 13th, that sense of security shattered. Abigail Abby Williams, 13, and Liberty Libby German, 14, set out for a day of adventure, blissfully unaware of the dark shadow that would soon descend upon them. Their destination was the Monon High Bridge, an abandoned railroad trestle stretching high above Deer Creek. This local landmark, beautiful yet eerily isolated, attracts many for its scenic views and rustic charm. The girls, best friends with bright futures ahead, were enjoying a day off from school, a rare winter's reprieve to explore and capture the beauty around them. They were dropped off by Libby's older sister, Kelsey, at approximately 1:35 p.m., her car pulling away, leaving them giggling and eager to conquer the adventurous path that awaited. The plan was simple: a few hours of exploration and photography before heading back, their parents none the wiser to the lurking danger. As midday light began to dwindle, the girls wandered along the expansive old bridge, capturing images of the serene landscape and each other, a moment of joy recorded forever in their devices. But unbeknownst to Abby and Libby, they were not alone. When 3:30 p.m. came and went without word from the girls, concern began to fester among their families. By 5:30 p.m., their loved ones, growing increasingly uneasy, ventured out to search the area themselves. Darkness was closing in, and with it came the chilling realization that something was dreadfully wrong. The community, tight-knit and resilient, rallied together. Search parties scoured the trails and surrounding woods, calling out for Abby and Libby with growing urgency. It wasn't until the next morning, February 14th, that their worst fears were confirmed. At approximately 12:15 p.m., a volunteer discovered the bodies of Abby and Libby on the north bank of Deer Creek, a mere half-mile from the bridge where they were last seen. The heart of Delphi stopped as the news spread, a shroud of grief descending over the town. The discovery was brutal, the scene a stark testament to the unspeakable violence that had befallen the girls. The details of their deaths have remained closely guarded, but the impact was immediate and profound. The foundations of a tranquil community were shaken, leaving families to grapple with the incomprehensible loss and the terrifying fact that a killer still roamed free. In the days that followed, investigators from the Carroll County Sheriff's Department, the Indiana State Police, and the FBI descended upon Delphi. They combed through the dense underbrush, meticulously gathering whatever evidence they could find. But it was Libby's smartphone, recovered alongside her possessions, that would become the most pivotal piece in this haunting puzzle. Within the phone, in an act of remarkable bravery, Libby had captured a grainy image and a short audio recording of a man on the Monon High Bridge. The photograph, blurred but distinct, showed a heavy-set man in a blue jacket, jeans, and a cap, walking purposefully toward them. The audio, chilling in its simplicity, recorded a husky male voice uttering the words, "Guys, down the hill," shrouded in an ominous mystery that only deepened the horror of the event. This man, forever etched into the collective memory of Delphi, would become known to all as Bridge Guy. The release of this evidence to the public was strategic, a plea for any information that might lead to the elusive killer. Yet, despite nationwide coverage and thousands of tips, the identity of the man in the recording remains a troubling enigma. The community, traumatized but determined, refused to let fear consume them. Instead, they united in their sorrow, holding vigils and raising funds, hoping to keep Abby and Libby's memories alive and to support the ongoing investigation. Months turned into years, and the investigation widened. The FBI enlisted top behavioral analysts to create a profile of the perpetrator, painting a picture of an unremarkable man who had blended into the fabric of small-town life seamlessly. Suspects came and went, each more tantalizing than the last, but all eventually cleared or dismissed. The tragedy of that February day left an indelible mark not only on the families but also on the community's psyche, a constant reminder of life's fragility and the evil that can lurk in the most unsuspecting places. Abby and Libby, forever young and full of potential, became symbols of resilience and a call for justice in a case that seemed to defy resolution. As time marched on, the quest for answers persisted. Detectives continued to chase leads, refusing to let the case slip into the shadows. Yet the nagging question remained: who was the man on the bridge, and why did he choose that day, that moment, to unleash such terror? The answers lie somewhere in the whispers of the wind that caressed the Monon High Bridge, waiting to be unearthed. But for now, the community waits, holding its collective breath, hoping that one day, justice will finally prevail for Abby and Libby. The girls who trusted a bright day would be just that. In the wake of the tragedy, Delphi found itself ensnared by a relentless pursuit of justice, its residents haunted by the unresolved grief that clung like mist to the woods surrounding Deer Creek. As days turned to months, the investigation took on a life of its own, fueled by the combined efforts of law enforcement and a community unwilling to let Abby and Libby's story fade into the annals of unsolved mysteries. The image of the bridge guy loomed large over the investigation, a spectral figure whose presence seemed to permeate every corner of this quiet town. Detectives, armed with the pixelated photograph and the haunting audio clip, worked tirelessly, examining the minutiae of the footage with forensic precision. They scoured over 30,000 tips, each promising a glimmer of hope, yet too often leading to dead ends. Among the individuals scrutinized was Daniel Nations, a registered sex offender from Indiana who bore a resemblance to the sketch released by the police. Nations, coincidentally, had been arrested in Colorado for threatening hikers with a hatchet around the same time as the murders. His checkered past and unsettling behavior made him a person of interest, but the evidence was elusive, and he was eventually dismissed as a suspect. In April 2019, the investigation took a dramatic turn when a new sketch was released, this one markedly different from the original. The image depicted a much younger man, sparking renewed speculation and debate. Investigators clarified that this was now the primary sketch, and it was believed to more accurately represent the perpetrator. This shift breathed new life into the case, reigniting public interest and leading to a fresh wave of tips. Despite this, the identity of the suspect remained maddeningly out of reach. Investigators considered various theories. Was the killer a local, familiar with the trails and the abandoned bridge? Or perhaps a transient passing through this otherwise peaceful town? Each scenario presented its own set of challenges and possibilities, each demanding a different kind of scrutiny. Every year on February 13th, the town of Delphi gathers to remember Abby and Libby. Vigils are held at the Monon High Bridge, lanterns released into the night sky in a poignant tribute to the lives lost too soon. These gatherings serve as both a memorial and a reminder that the community refuses to let the case slip into the realm of forgotten tragedy. By 2020, the investigation had spanned over 3 years, a tapestry of leads woven together by the dedicated efforts of local and federal agencies. The presence of the FBI, with its sophisticated technology and seasoned agents, offered a glimmer of hope. They delved into digital forensics, hoping to extract additional information from Libby's phone, but the results were frustratingly limited. The community watched as the case continued to evolve, its once clear-cut edges becoming blurred by time and uncertainty. The sheer weight of the investigation was palpable in Delphi, permeating everyday conversations as residents speculated on the identity of Bridge Guy. Rumors flourished in the vacuum of facts, each more outlandish than the last, yet fueled by the desperate need for closure. As 2021 unfolded, the case saw an unexpected resurgence. An online collective of amateur sleuths, armed with passion and persistence, began to unravel connections previously overlooked. Their efforts, while occasionally misguided, brought renewed attention to the investigation, prompting a review of old evidence and theories. Through social media campaigns and true crime forums, the story of Abby and Libby reached an even wider audience, their plight etched into the memories of people across the globe. Richard Allen, a Delphi resident whose name had surfaced early in the investigation, was re-examined. Allen, who lived a mere few miles from the trailhead, fit the profile created by the FBI. Known to frequent the trails, he became a focal point of renewed scrutiny. Yet, despite the proximity and circumstantial connections, tangible evidence that could definitively link him to the crime remained elusive. Speculation swirled around Allen, alongside countless others who shared his fate of suspicion without substantiation. By October 2023, the investigation remains active, its heart beating steadily within the offices of the Carroll County Sheriff's Department. Detectives, some of whom have been with the case since day one, persevere with a tenacity born of personal investment. For them, Abby and Libby are not merely statistics. They are daughters, sisters, friends lost to a darkness that must be brought to light. The Delphi murders have left an indelible mark on the town, a haunting reminder that evil can visit even the most unsuspecting corners of the world. The community, while living with the weight of their absence, remains steadfast in their resolve. They speak of justice not as an abstract concept, but as a tangible promise, a vow to the girls whose lives were so brutally taken. As the sun sets on yet another year without resolution, the bridge stands silent, a solemn sentinel over the woods and waters below. The whispers of the past linger, carried on the wind that rustles through the trees, circling back to the town that refuses to forget. In this quiet corner of Indiana, Abby and Libby's legacy endures, a testament to the enduring human spirit against the darkest of shadows. The case may be unsolved, but the quest for justice continues, driven by a determination as unyielding as the tragedy that instigated it. One day, perhaps, the echoes of the past will align with the present, and the man who haunts the edges of Delphi's collective consciousness will finally be unmasked. Until then, the memory of Abby and Libby, two bright lights extinguished too soon, flickers on, a beacon in the darkness, a call for the truth that must someday emerge.